Well, hello again. And today I would just like to talk about continuing to dream big and to fight on. The first thing I'd like to do today is to read something that I wrote a couple years ago, and it was part of a presentation I did on the inner child. And I would just like to read what I wrote a few years ago. I've been to the mountaintop and I've seen the promised land. And there's a pink cloud out there for you and for me, and for all of us who are willing to believe, who are willing to do the work, who are willing to forgive and to be forgiven, who are willing to love and be loved, who are willing to accept ourselves and others as they are, who are willing to fight the fight and espouse passion, who are willing to let go, who are willing to ask a higher power to do what one cannot do on our own, who are willing to accept the help of others. I've been to the mountaintop and I've seen the promised land. It's there for you and it's there for me. For us, the promised land is not regretting the past nor wishing to shut the door on it. The promised land is intuitively knowing how to handle situations that used to baffle us. The promised land is feeling stable, peaceful, and financially secure. The promised land is having fun and being playful instead of being controlling. I've been to the mountaintop and I've seen the promised land. Believe me, I know these things, and I do. Anyway, some of you might say, who does this guy think he is? Martin Luther King? Well, maybe. Anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Martin Luther King and some things that you might possibly not know about him. And anyway, he knew he was going to die doing the work he was doing. And when he saw on television John Kennedy, the president of the United States, who was shot to death, he turned to his wife and he said, "That's how I'm going to go." And I forget exactly, it was only a year or 2 or 3 years after that he was shot to death, just like he knew he would be. And in his life, too, he was hated. He was hated. And what is kind of ironic is he was hated most of all probably by the Black community. His life wasn't easy, but he was believed in what he was doing, and he had the courage to dream and to fight on. He said, I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I just want you to know that as a people, we will get there. Beautiful, beautiful words. So like I've said in the past, it's not about the end. It's about the journey. And it's we as a people, our purpose is to have our hearts on fire and to have a purpose, which is to do the work, is to help the other guy and to make this world a better place to the best of our ability. And that path sometimes means that to live is to suffer. And to survive is to find meaning in that suffering. That's what Martin Luther King found. That's what Viktor Frankl found. And that's what Robert has found. That's for damn sure. It's not about the end, it's about the journey. And one person who has had a tremendous influence in helping, in understanding addictions and the role that shame and trauma has to play, and who has worked and helped so many people over so many years, is Gabor Mate. And he said in a recent, I think it was documentary, he said that if he could help 5% of those people who are addicted to recover, he'd be considered a genius. That's because the rate of recovery, basically, for people with addictions is so low. But we must keep fighting. We must keep dreaming. Steve Jobs said, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do." And Bobby Kennedy, he said, "Some people look at the world and they ask, why? I look at the world and I ask, why not?" It's all about the journey. Remember, I may not get there with you, but I just want you to know that we as a people will get there. It's kind of like, I'm just looking at my notes here. It's kind of like in The Grapes of Wrath, where Tom Joad said to his mother, Ma Joad, wherever there's a fight so hungry people can eat, I'll be there. Wherever there's a cop beating up a guy, I'll be there. When there's people sitting and eating the food they raised and living in the houses they built, then I'll be there too. Today I say, whenever there's a guy or gal feeling worthless, like ending it all, I'll be there. Wherever there's a fanatic trying to guilt an innocent person to drink the Kool-Aid, I'll be there. Whenever there's people hurting because they've had their ability to express themselves and they've been criticized and they've been laughed at, I'll be there too. These are lofty ideals, but like Martin Luther King said, I may not get there with you, but I just want you to know that as a people, we will get there. One story I've always really liked, and I kind of take it as my own in the work that I do and stepping out and becoming the person that I am, and is the story of Esther. And I'm just really going to paraphrase it because I didn't want to look up and find all the details. But anyway, I know the principle of the story, but she was a Jewish lady. And in Israel at that time, there was a plot about to kill all the Jewish people at that time. So anyway, they said, Esther, you're the only one who has access to the king. And you have to go tell him about this plot and try and save our people. Now, this was apparently, at that time, against the law for a woman to approach the king. And the penalty was death. And it was serious. I mean, it wasn't to be taken lightly. So anyway, Esther stepped up to the plate and she said the immortal words that have always rang true with me. Okay, I will go see the king and I will try and save our people. And if I perish, I perish. And anyway, that's the way I feel, you know, doing the work I'm doing, that if I stand up to the plate and tell my truth, and if I perish, I perish. Because in this world we live in, it's a dangerous world. It really is. And it's hard to be an iconoclast. It's hard to step up to the plate and be who you really are and suffer the criticism and the threats that kind of come just as a result of being the person that you really are. And it's getting harder and harder. But I may not get you with there, But I just want you to know that as a people, we will get there. And I really believe that we are on the road to making this world a better place. And we're learning, and especially learning and coming to understand things like addiction and codependency and what causes it. The cause, it's all of our problem. It's society's problems. It's not the addict's fault. It's society's. It's all of our faults. We make these mistakes together. Really, we just don't understand, and unless we come to that understanding as a people, addictions will continue to rage out of control, as will suicides, as will mental health challenges, and so many other things. So we have to be on the path to dream big, that we can really help people, because understanding is becoming available, and we are learning the truth about these things, and it's just such an exciting journey. Anyway, Che Guevara said, hasta la, or what was it? Hasta la victoria siempre. Onwards to victory always. And that's my motto now. Onwards to victory always. So anyway, that's kind of what I just wanted to say today. I wish I could have said it better, but we have to keep dreaming and dreaming big, and we have to keep fighting. And this is our purpose, and we have to have passion. Anyway, I'm going to end it at that, because I've got some really good podcasts coming up. I'm going to be talking about the fanatic, the true believer, and the huge role that the fanatic plays in creating addicts. It's cause and effect. I'm going to be talking about having passion, because without passion, hardly anything is really worthwhile. I'm going to be talking about forgiveness, about loving ourselves, and another topic too, which is huge, about caring for other human beings, yeah, and the power that that has. So anyway, that's it for this time. And like always, in the meantime, always, 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 always question. So anyway, we'll see you next time.